Okay, let's play this out a little bit. Okay?
I figured I'd share with you all a piece of irony, if you wish.
Oh my god!
Just yesterday, Games Workshop community team put up this statement on their Twitter page, and it was swiftly sent to me. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. Not that one. This one. It says the exact same thing. I'm sorry, I get easily confused. It's literally the same.
What is his accent? He's putting on some sort of fake British accent. It's green screen or something. Just be Swedish, dude. You'll get bullied less. I wonder if he's actually going to... I don't know why his voice is like this. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he thinks this gives him some credibility. Unfortunately, it doesn't, okay?
Vulcan lives.
Thank you very much, Kingfisher Games, for the donation. Very much appreciated. He looks like the guy from Mythbusters, but totally busted. His myth's been busted fully. Okay, sorry. Let's just let this play out a bit. We can't just spend the whole video mocking the way this dude looks, okay? That's not on. And mocking his dumb accent. We've got to get into the meat of this. Stop being so mean, everyone, okay?
Message, isn't it? But anywho, I found it amusing that at no point previously in their history, no point whatsoever, has Games Workshop even suggested that they don't want a particular group to play their games, regardless of their sexuality, their skin color, their religion, their political preference. Nothing. They have allowed anyone and everyone to play their games. No bars, no stops, everyone. Until today.
What's his fake laugh? He's like taken the Sargon Smuckle to a whole new cringeworthy level.
Today, or more correctly yesterday, the tune changed rather drastically. It became, and if you feel the same way, we're happy to have you. And if not, you will not be missed. Oof. That is quite the radical round change. That's quite the U-turn. So, at no point previously has Games Workshop gone, we don't want this group.
Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, damn. Hang on. I thought that was the actual statement. That was his interpretation of what they said. Oh, my God. I thought that was the actual statement. Hang on, what was it? Let me read out the actual statement then. Okay. I thought that was the statement on the thumbnail. I thought the company actually said, fuck you. But that's not what it is at all. That's not what it was at all. I thought that's what the statement was. I read it out at the start as if it was the statement from the company. That's so funny. Sorry for spreading fake news, everyone, okay? But I honestly thought... Because obviously I'd seen the statement and I read it the other day. And yeah, I just thought that was what was said, but it's not at all. Let's settle this, okay? So, Warhammer is for everyone. One of the great powers of our hobby is its ability to bring together in common cause. To build bonds and friendships that cross divides. We believe in and support a community united by shared values of mutual kindness and respect. Our fantasy settings are grim and dark, but that is not a reflection of who we are or how we feel the real world should be. We will never accept nor condone any form of prejudice, hatred or abuse in our company or in the Warhammer hobby. We will continue to diversify the cast of characters we portray through miniatures, art and storytelling so everyone can find representation and heroes they can relate to. And if you feel the same way, wherever and whoever you are, we're glad you're part of the Warhammer community. If not, you will not be missed. I mean, they are basically saying if you don't agree with our politics, go fuck yourself. But to be fair, like, I don't know, is saying like, you know, we don't want hatred. We don't want hatred in our stuff. Is that a political statement? It's not like they're saying, hey, vote Biden, you know? I mean, look, the thing is, some companies will vaguely gesture towards what's happening and that leave it at that. This is taking it one step further by basically saying if you are a racist, you're not welcome in our community. You're not welcome in our product. Hey, thank you very much for the sub. Much appreciated.
You won't be disappointed.
Thanks, Ken. Sorry I got a bit spicy earlier, okay, with the hair stuff. I couldn't resist, but we're moving on. We've moved on from that now. We're now mocking his ridiculous voice. And what we're also going to be mocking is just his ridiculous reaction to this. And yeah, like I say, this is taking it one step further, okay? This is taking. Oh, okay. You were just memeing. Even so, I try not to go after someone's appearance. It is actually something I'm trying to stop doing because it's just unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? It's just unnecessary. But in any case, let's Age of Strife. So yeah, this fella's obviously moaning about this, right?
Oof, that is quite the radical round change. That's quite the U-turn. So at no point previously has Games Workshop gone, we don't want this group of people, until the left wing with their diverse cast of characters and what was it? Representation. At no point until the entrance of that has Games Workshop wanted to exclude any group of people. This
fake laugh is killing me. It's literally just saying like, hey, if you hate black people, we don't want you in our community. If you're like I know the voice is ridiculous. The thing is though, like this fella, but the thing that frustrates me is like, how could you possibly have a bad reaction to a company basically just saying, hey, if you don't believe in a community united by shared values of mutual kindness and respect, we're not interested in having you here. How could you react badly to that? Yeah, it's just a Sargon clone, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It could affect them. Like I say, it's not as milquetoast as some of the other companies that have literally just given a very vague gesturing towards Black Lives Matter or said we stand against police brutality or something like that. This is much more explicit. This is saying if you're going to be a bigot, you're not welcome. Yeah, he was... Anyway, come on, let's continue. We're only like 2 minutes into the video.
It truly is fantastic, is it not? Well, I guess it's that whole, you can't be tolerant to the intolerant thing, which is a wonderful thing, by the way, because it sounds good until you think about it, and then you realize, hold on, if I'm no longer tolerant towards the intolerant, then I myself am no longer tolerant, and therefore the rest of the society, who can't tolerate the intolerant, now cannot tolerate me. And so the next person in line has to disavow...
Can you hear his accent coming through as well? I can hear his actual accent coming through now. Oh, well, if you... I can't do it, I'm sorry. I can't do it. But yeah, this is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous bastardization of the paradox of tolerance, right? Yeah, this is a really dumb argument. I wargamer fact, I thought gamers tend to be way more childish than other wargamers. Sorry, but it's true. Yeah, this fella, I don't think this fella really understands it. I think he's maybe heard about it third hand from other fascists. I mean, look, I don't know what this guy's politics are. Is he a fascist? Isn't he a fascist? I don't know. But he's taking the exclusion of fascists from Warhammer pretty hard, which gives me some big think, okay?
About me, at which point they are no longer tolerant, and since we cannot tolerate the intolerant, we must then disavow that person. And so the purity spiral goes straight down.
Oh my god.
Anywho. I find posts like this just goddamn hilarious because they are piss puddle deep. Allow me, I found another beautiful example too. So this I saw, this was sent to me by V actually. So this is Bethesda.
V,
As you can see, they are all pro LGBTQ here. You know, that's a valuable thing. We really got to support that society. Except,
Okay, what we need to do, maybe at some point I'll do this. This is next level cringe. This is good. What we need is we need to put his face on the crying Wojak. His face on the crying Wojak mask. That's what we need, and a speech bubble, with like that looks like the way he speaks. Wait, hang on. Is that Moulding Mike? Whose channel is that from? Wait, is that from Mike's channel? Is that from Mike's channel? Did Mike make a Moulding Mike emote? That's so funny. Fair play to Mike on that one. You got to hand it to Mike there. That's a good ass meme. That shows some self depreciation in comedy. Anyway, sorry, let's continue. So yeah, he's probably going to be close to getting rainbow capitalism, but it's going to miss the mark.
except in the Middle East.
This fake laugh is ridiculous. Yeah, that's really... Hey, that's really shitty. And that speaks to the fact that Bethesda doesn't really care. It only cares in as much as they can slap a rainbow flag on their logo, where it's not going to cause controversy. And yeah, exactly. This speaks to the fact that in the Middle East, LGBT people are massively oppressed. Right? Damn, the whole squad laughing, yeah. My friends are just out of shot laughing too. But this is the thing, like, yeah, you can be critical of this. But what's this got to do with what Warhammer have said? What's this got to do with Warhammer was always for everyone until today? Yeah, exactly, Cause. I don't know anyone in my circles that thinks this is good.
And that's the thing with brand virtue signaling. It is absolutely piss puddle deep. A company doesn't care about this shit. It could not care less. It merely wishes to say it wants to say the nice things, the socially acceptable things, the things that everybody agrees on. And then the activists within the company, within the group, will just sneak in a little bit of their own nonsense. For example, let's read this post here. So, we start out by stating, we believe in support, a community united by shared values of mutual kindness and respect. Oh, what a niche position you've taken there, Games Workshop. What a brave standpoint to stand for kindness and respect. Truly, this is a rather unique standpoint. Most people are, of course, for cruelty and hatred. Obviously. And we move on to the other ones. We will never accept nor condone any form of prejudice, hatred, or abuse. Once again, taking a stand on the really difficult subject here. Oh, absolutely. Again, most people are, of course, pro prejudice and abuse, etc. It's, of course, absolutely. And then we get to the kicker. We will continue to diversify the cast of characters we portray through miniatures, art, and storytelling, so everyone can find representation and heroes they can relate to. Hold it right there. Now, I am a brave individual like you, Games Workshop community team. I am all for kindness and respect and all that, you know.
Okay, good.
These are fringe values that I myself also value. However, the moment you start writing stories or characters for no other reason than because skin color, then because sexuality, that's where I have a problem, because I don't care about these things. In fact, I think creating a character in a story for no other reason than because he's...
Oh, your donation's automated. Yeah, text-to-speech is switched on all of my donations.
Gavin.
Look, this is the problem that I have with this sort of line of argumentation. Is like, like when you're like a white person, okay. When you're like a white person, literally every single piece of media that exists, more or less, or that has existed for the past 50 years, 100 years, has had, I mean, there's a small one, a very, very small amount of films, particularly more recently, that maybe haven't been so focused on like white people or straight people or whatever, yeah. But like, did it come up? Should have come up.
Loudwithcrowder.com
Hey,
Mug Club.
Jangles, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Very much appreciated. Yeah, exactly. A white person. This is my point. Is that it's so frustrating because, of course, when you're a white person, okay, you get representation all the time. Everywhere you look, in every film, in every TV series, in every video game, there's a white person looking back at you. Okay, like without fail. You are spoilt for choice when it comes to looking for characters in popular media that look like you to some degree, yeah? And the first point is that absolutely there should be characters that are created that have got that aren't just like white people. And it's not just about like representation either. It's like it enriches the story too, potentially. Do you see what I mean? It kind of like enriches the story too. He also sees a character being a straight white bloke as normal and default, but there has to be a 20,000 word essay justifying a character not being one of those things. Yeah, exactly. White is seen as the default. Yeah, like what was it in the Star Wars film? Was it in the Star Wars film? Where they had like it was like the first gay character and it was like a background character kissing. Am I remembering that right? Is that right? And they made a big deal out of it? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, and it was like big fanfare of like the first gay kiss in Star Wars. But yeah, in any case, I don't know. This really speaks to a fragility because, like I say, it's absolutely ridiculous that that you would get so mad about this. It reminds me of because Destiny spoke about this, and Destiny said, like the live action Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember. But Destiny talked about how, white gamers were like, oh, I don't care what skin colour the characters are. And then, like, black characters started to be introduced. And these same people would be like, whoa, why are you trying to put politics in my video games? I don't want to play as a black character, And it just showed that, like, actually they do care about what the skin colour is. But because it's so dominant, it's their skin colour, it's the white skin colour, they never complain about it, The two genders, yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Black, I think that's downright racist. I don't like it. Because there are surely a hell of a lot better reasons to put a character in a 40k storyline. It's not like race is a big issue in 40k, is it? Everything is meat for the grinder, is it not? And then, of course, we move on to the final part, because it's always the left these days, isn't it? It is always the, we will strive for inclusivity, for representation, but not for you. Because, and if you feel the same way, wherever and whoever...
Is he trying to suggest that white people aren't represented? Like, what?
Representation, but not for you. Because,
but not for
and
you.
if you...
Is that what he just said, but not for you? Wait. If you... Wait, I don't... Look, I'm not into Warhammer, right? But I'm fairly certain if you look up any image of, like, you know, fucking... like Warhammer characters, like a lot of them are going to be white, right? Like already, that's the kind of default thing. Okay, let's hear him out anyway.
Feel the same way, wherever and whoever you are. We're glad you are part of the Warhammer community. We are glad you are part of Brand. And if not, you will not be missed. If you disagree with our political position, you are no longer welcome within our community. That is so acceptive. That is so inclusive. It's... it's funny, isn't it? It is downright hilarious. And at the end of the day, this means absolutely nothing. This is merely just the community team reaffirming that yes, they are going to continue to force diversity into their stories. And this is also them admitting that they are doing...
Hang on, does this fella have any examples of them forcing diversity? Does he have any examples of them forcing diversity? Why do you think his accent was a good choice? I don't know. The thing is like, there are definitely, like I mentioned the Star Wars example, there's definitely examples of companies just shoehorning in some sort of marginalised identity, not as a genuine thing, but just as like a sort of, oh, well, look, hey, the gays, hey, you've got two gay people kissing, that should keep you satisfied. Now fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Give me your money. Look, we've stuck some fucking gays kissing in the film. Give us your money and fuck off, okay? That's what that comes across as sometimes. So it does have to be like a genuine thing, right? So but I think it's important but the thing is, yeah, and then they remove that scene in countries where it might come across as controversial. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's okay to call that out, right? But that's the thing. I see people calling that out all the time. The difference with these kinds of people is any sort of inclusion of anything that isn't straight, white, in some cases male, is considered to be a political act or decision or forced diversity or something like that, you know? Even if there's like some sort of justification or there's something in the story or whatever, you know? Anyway, we're nearly through the video, okay?
Doing it. This is why, when there is suddenly a Black Ultra Smurf on a cover, people start asking the question, hold on, is there a good reason for that? Or is that just SJW nonsense? If you'd done this 10 years ago, nobody would probably have raised a goddamn eyebrow at it. Nobody cared when the salamanders were introduced. Nobody cared when you also changed them up to be dark-skinned, red-eyed people. Nobody really cared about that. Nobody cares about the fact that Vulcan is black. Nobody cares about the fact that Jagatai Khan is East Asian-looking, Mongolian, etc. Nobody gives a fuck. But when you start doing that, whilst also spouting this, then people start, 1 + 1 equals political motivation. See, that's the thing.
What?
Most people are actually, I know, shocker, most people actually are for kindness and respect. These brave standpoints of your community teams is actually milquetoast bullshit. It's actually something that basically everyone agrees on. And the fact that you bury a third point, which not everyone agrees on, in fact the majority does not agree on, behind a couple of paragraphs that are literally, oh, we are for love, respect, kindness, and we condemn hatred,
Oh shit.
prejudice, and abuse, and then you go, oh, and a political point. That's called cowardice. Because you know that people don't like forced representation. It's not something that people are particularly interested in. It has literally killed entire franchises. It has taken Star Wars from being one of the biggest things ever to being a de facto financial...
What the fuck is going on here? Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure that the I think this fella's sent a detachment of Space Marines. This fella's sent a detachment of white, straight Space Marines to take my internet down because I'm mocking him. I think that's what's happening here, okay? My apologies. Okay.
Flop for Disney. A company with de facto infinite cash. Even Disney atop their pile of money.
Oh, are they? Yeah, I've read about that. Look, don't get me distracted by the lore, okay? Because I find that stuff interesting. Let's just
looks
continue.
at the recent SJW-fied nonsense Star Wars and goes, Christ, that money hole is large, isn't it? And again, the only reason I'm even making this video is because funny. Like, it just occurred to me, finally, that it took left-wing ideology. It took the introduction of the inclusivity nonsense to actually...
The funny thing is about this video is he's supposed to be talking about Warhammer, and he's talking about Bethesda, Star Wars, Disney. I mean, he just wants the opportunity, I guess, to mould about the fact that there's you know, people that have got different colour skin in some of these franchises now. Yeah, Star Wars made so much money. Listen, stop going about Space Marines. We'll talk about Space Marines later.
Get Games Workshop to go, actually, for the first time in our entire history, we don't want a particular group of people. Which, if there isn't a better example of the lie of inclusivity, I don't know what is. And again, also, piss puddle deep. There is no conviction behind this, there's no corporate interest behind this, it is merely just brand. Wanting you to know that brand is with you in your current social political struggle, as long as it makes you think better of brand. Until next time.
Why is he rolling his R's?
I've been Arch Warhammer. Think better of me, because I too am for kindness, respect. What was this? Oh yes, and I also condemn hatred. Proud and powerful. Have a good day.
That guy's smugger than Sargon, which is quite an achievement. So yeah, obviously that was exceptionally cringe. The accent was just ridiculous. Just the usual moulding over a company saying we don't want bigots in our community. And yeah, I mean, what more is there to say? Literally just moulding over a company going, hey, we don't like people being racist, you know? And that's it. What a loser.